Today on MHNews, it's question time, so bumper me and we'll get started.
We don't have to chase this dream alone.
Welcome to MHNews, everybody. I'm your host, Matt Haslam. This week we have a lot of questions, so we're just going to get right into it, and we also have an overhead camera, so say hi to that. And that's so we can show you what's on my desk here, because we're going to be talking a lot about different stuff that's going to be coming on the desk while the questions are going. So our first question today comes from Jesse Flores, and he says, hey there, what's your recommendation for an external USB hard drive to edit with? Basically, if you have a lot of money and lots of money, I would say going with a NAS or NAS Pro system by Seagate. They just came out with their whole NAS or NAS Pro systems, and they go anywhere from like 1 terabyte to like 24 freaking terabytes, which is huge. So that's a lot of memory, and it's a system made for an entire office to work off at one time, so multiple computers can access the same exact documents and same exact video footage at the same time and edit with the same exact footage without having 2 copies of it. So do that, but they're like anywhere from like a couple $100s to thousands, like 5,000-10,000. So if you have a budget, do that. If you don't have a budget, like most people don't, then I would suggest doing a WD Elements hard drive, at least 4 terabytes, and at least USB 3.0 cabling, because if you have 2.0 cabling, it's not fast enough, near fast enough for video editing. But again, what I do, I've mentioned this on a previous episode on the efficiency of footage logging episode 10 in season 2 here, that what I do all the time is I'll have a 1 terabyte hard drive on my computer itself, and then I'll edit from that, and I'll have the current footage I'm working with on my computer itself. Besides when I'm working on like a demo reel or something like that, then I'll need to go into the external hard drive. But I'll typically have everything I need on the computer itself, and then I'll switch out the files whenever I need footage from another shoot or another production. So that way I can edit while I'm on the road. And basically, speaking of being on the road, if you edit while you're on the road, a great thing to do is to have a portable external hard drive. We have a Seagate 2 terabyte hard drive and a Toshiba 1 terabyte hard drive inside of here, and that's a My Passport 1 terabyte hard drive, and they both have the cabling all inside here. And this is an old graphics calculator case that protects our hard drives while we're on the road. We can take the cables out of it and zip it kind of back up again and protect the hard drives and just plug it in and be on the road editing in the passenger seat or something like that, or in the driver's seat, because that's fun too. But that's what we have, and while we're on production or something like that, we'll have this off to the side with a computer there. So basically you can have, rather than switching out SD cards and having like 50 SD cards, we'll just have like 2 or 3, and that way we can import the footage to one of these and these hard drives, and then switch them out, format the cards every time, shoot as much as we want, and at the end of the day just copy from these to our actual 4 terabyte external hard drive here at the office. So get yourself one of those, at least 3.0 or better, and at least 4 terabytes, because that's what you're going to need to have a lot of footage with. Next question comes in from Ryan McVeigh. Is it okay to use different lenses when filming? I used a 15 to 85 so far, but that wasn't mine, and I don't have it today for filming. So is it okay to use a 17 to 55? Plenty good. What I suggest, we use Canon lenses all the time for our Canon T5i, and basically we have one on the camera right now, which is a 18 to 55 millimeter lens. Then this is a 55 to 250 millimeter lens that we bought specifically because of the Canon T5i. We wanted to get longer shots away for like, football stadiums or different sporting events where we needed to zoom in a lot more to a longer length, so a lot farther away. So we got ours because of that. But what I suggest doing is don't switch up your lenses to different brands. So like if you're using Canon lenses, use Canon lenses. Don't use any Nikon lenses on a Canon product. Like keep them the same. If you're using Nikon lenses on a Canon camera, then use only Nikon lenses. Don't switch to a Canon lens, because you're going to have some problems in color correction later on. But anytime you have to use like adapters to get from here to your lens to the camera body itself, you're going to have problems in color correction, unless you are going for that look. If you're lucky enough to work with like a cinema lens that is insanely expensive and you're very lucky to work with, then, you know, work with that for your like hero shots, and then have a regular lens for your villain shots, just to have the difference there. So that's what I suggest, at least. Don't switch it up too much, but sure, you know, have different lenses, but always make sure, no matter what lenses you use, to have at least something pure white, photograph, or, you know, capture something at least pure white with every lens you use, even if they are different brands. That way you can at least do color correction later to make sure they're all the same in the end. Next question. Felix Flinders. Flinders. I wish to start filmmaking, but I don't have the money to get a good DSLR camera. Should I start now with an iPhone or wait until I can get something better? Well, I said it on the show here before. I started out with an old Sony camcorder that was just you know, 720p. It was crappy camera, and that's what I did most of the music videos in the very start of all this filmmaking process. That's what I used. I've never used my iPhone, but I hear iPhones can do 1080 nowadays, so, or at least something HD, I've heard. So I don't say wait, because there's plenty of good filmmaking products out there for iPhones. And, you know, basically, I've always heard and I've always said that, you know, it doesn't matter what camera you're using, just shoot, you know. We're shooting with DSLRs and GoPros and like the top of the line, you know, as far as our budget is concerned. But just because you don't have like $1,000 per camera doesn't mean you shouldn't go out there and shoot. I mean, a good camcorder is only like, what, $250, $300 nowadays, so that you can shoot 720 in at least, and that should get you at least started. But iPhones, if you want to, you can start with that. But I kind of think it's gonna be a little bit of a problem trying to hold it and get a steady shot from it, whereas a camcorder, you can, you know, at least mount it to something and get a steady shot from that. So go ahead and, you know, just shoot. It doesn't matter what you're trying to shoot with. But start filmmaking, because you're going to be learning a lot in that first couple of years anyway. So, yeah, if you don't have a DSLR, you don't have a DSLR. And, you know, if you drop it, it'd be a lot less money for you to replace. But go ahead and shoot. I don't see any problem with that. Next question comes in from, oh God, I cannot pronounce your name, I'm sorry. So, Pithin, I'm just going to say, comes in from SR. What is a good and cheap microphone? What we use on set here all the time is Samson CO2 cardioid mics. They're not shotgun mics, but they work great, and I loves them. They work good for like choir mics for live events, and that's kind of why we got them. But then realized, you know, rather than getting Rode shotgun mics or shotgun mics at all, we just tried these out, because these are like classified as mini shotgun mics. They are $120 for a set of 2 of them, because they came in a set of 2. But they work fantastically for everything. I mean, we put them above our actors to do that kind of thing. You know, if we're working on like a really professional shoot, then we'll get a shotgun mic and rent it out from like lensprotogo.com or something like that. But typically we'll use these all the time, and they work fantastic. And, you know, they're cheap. $60 for a mic, you can't beat it. I'm sorry, you just can't. I loves them. So, and they're very good quality mics. That's what I use all the time. So, and if you don't have the money for that, then get like a Shure SM58, which would be like a regular microphone up here, but you can just turn the gain up on the microphone a little bit more, and that should work better for you. But that's only like $100, and it comes with a stand if you get it from the right place. So that's what I suggest. But $120 for a set of 2 of them, and then you're set. You have 2 microphones, so you can do an interview, you can do a lot of things with that, so that loves it. And it comes with a case, so that's a good and cheap microphone. Frugal microphone. Hayden McComb asks, is there any legal jargon you have to go through? I love jargon. You have to go through when hiring actors who aren't doing it as a favor. Yes, plenty of crap you have to go through. No, you have to first get a contract with, especially if it's a child actor, then you have to get a contract with them. As long as you're in the United States, at least I think, I don't know about other countries, but you have to contract with the child, their parent or legal guardian. There has to be someone on set with them. Their parent or legal guardian has to either be there, or they have to assign a legal guardian to be there with the child all the time during set. But with the adults and stuff like that, I mean, you have to first get the contract out and specifically say, what their payment is going to be, what type of work they're going to be doing, a lot of jargon you have to go through. The best suggestion I have is reach out to your local state filmmaking association. Every state has one. Reach out to them, ask them what kind of laws are applicable for your area, and they should be able to help you. I reached out to a representative from my Congress, I believe it is, or House representatives, and I said to them, we don't deal with any kind of adult film or anything like that. You have to specify. That's a major thing, but we don't deal with that kind of filmmaking. So reach out to them, and they'll be able to get you a lot of information on it, as well as the film association of your state. So there is a lot of jargon, and I highly suggest just researching that for a long time before you ever write the contract itself with your actor. But there's a lot of jargon you have to go through, but you don't need a lawyer to do it necessarily. It's stuff that you can do on your own, as long as you're business minded and you look out for yourself as well as the actor itself. So they're going to appreciate that. That goes a long way, looking out for them as the actor. So definitely a lot of jargon, but basically just reach out to the people that know it in your filmmaking association of the state and your lawmakers. They're going to help you out a lot in just everything you need to do. But children especially are insane amount of legal jargon you have to go through to get children actually on film. It's just a longer process. So that's our questions for today. If you have any questions for the show, please email them to questions@mhnews.info, which is our new website for the show. So email your questions there, comment below on YouTube, whatever you want. Just get it to us and we'll answer it on the show here. Thanks for joining us, and see us back here every Sunday and Thursday for brand new episodes. Have a good one.